What's up, Trainiacs? So, 2018, it's about to come to an end, as we've been doing for the past little while. We are taking a trip down memory lane, and what I've been doing just recently is thinking back to what were the goals that I set over 2018? What did I want to accomplish over 2018? So I went back and I watched the video of my goals for 2018 that I shot this time last year, and we're gonna see how I did. All right, sounds thrilling, doesn't it? All right, so we are all Christmassy up in here. I don't know if you noticed, but we've got the green Philips hue, and it's kind of subtle, but we got red right across there. It's so festive. I'm just that kind of guy. All right, let's look back on 2018 and see how I did. Well, I gotta say that we have taken a couple of very serious left turns over the course of the year. However, it's been an amazing year at the same time. Rolled with some punches, learned a few lessons. The couple of left turns were, I started and stopped the Trainee Ask podcast, and I learned a very important lesson that as we were trying to grow this, that it can't just be all things to all people all the time, and we can't stretch ourselves too thin, because from that standpoint, if we just keep doing more and more and more and more, we're not going to be good at anything. So I had to stop the Trainee Ask podcast, even though it was starting to get upwards of 2,000 downloads an episode, times 5 episodes a week. That's a lot of downloads, and it was really good interaction, but it was also taking away from some of the things that we were starting to look at. It was not allowing me to research the Triathlon Taren podcast. It was also then kind of taking away from what we were building with Team Trainiac. Like, if people are paying to have my help on Team Trainiac, but they can also just get an answer from me if they submit a question to the Trainee Ask podcast, like it was just too many things, and we had to simplify. In addition to that, I can't show the video anymore. I can't even go like, hey, it's up here, because the old developer that took the first crack at the Team Trainiac platform created a privacy claim with that video, and it got taken down, unfortunately. But that was probably the biggest lesson of the year, and looking back on it, like, what would I do? I don't know. I'm not a software developer. I'm not a software company. I had a guy that I thought I trusted. I don't know, maybe when he came to me and made some offers, do some background checking. I don't know. I caught a lot of flack for how I dealt with it on the internet, but what do you expect? Like, I'm going into a business that I know nothing about. I'm gonna make some mistakes, and I made some mistakes. However, the new platform is miles better than what would have happened with that original developer. Way better. It's gonna be amazing. Early January. Looking at a little bit of growth numbers, give you some context, YouTube almost doubled. I think we had 27,000 subscribers when we rolled over to 2018, and we've got about 24,000 more. We've got, I think, 52, in between 52 and 53. Instagram basically doubled, just under 31,000, and the podcast grew to being, if you haven't heard this, you might not have heard this, I don't really talk about this, but the Triathlon Taren podcast, it's the most highly rated and ranked triathlon podcast in the world on Apple Podcasts. Did you know that? I didn't know if you knew that. Rarely talk about it. And we get about double the downloads, where we were getting at the beginning of the year somewhere in between about 4,000 and 5,000 downloads. Now we're upwards like 7 to 8. Getting some really cool guests. Been a crazy fun year with the podcast. NTK is most of the talent because she does the editing and asks the good questions, and I just try not to swear. Now, soft stuff, we've also kind of established ourselves in the industry. I mean, we're still not, I think, a regular name out there. We did have to fight a little bit with Ironman to get media accreditation because they didn't really know what we were. But then once we got in touch with them and sort of explained what we do, and then more of the people around Ironman who knew what we do lobbied for us. They were like, yeah, Taren's doing really cool stuff. Then we got media accreditation, and then we got media accreditation again in Kona, and we go to conferences now, and apparently people know about us. We go to industry events and people know about us. We make requests to have people on the podcast and they're like, yeah, I've heard about you. So whereas in 2017 going to Kona, we were keeping busy, but a lot of the things that we were keeping busy doing was just trying to meet people because they didn't know who we were. They were apprehensive about meeting us and taking time out of their schedule for us. Whereas this year we were busy because of all the obligations that we already had lined up. We couldn't fit everything in, and they were incoming. It was totally different. It was really cool. In addition to that, when we were at Kona 2017, few people reached out, said hi. This year, 2018, we met so many new friends. That was really cool. Now let's get into some of the goals that I had for 2018. Number one, I wanted to create a free resource for you every 2 months. I believe in 2017, right at the end, we had 3 free resources. That means that by the end of the year, we would have had 9. We got 9! We got more than 9! We got lots! From that standpoint, we grew the amount of people that have downloaded some sort of a free resource, a training plan, a learn to swim program, a strength training program. 25,000 people have done that, whereas we had about 5,000 at the end of last year. Knowing that we have helped that many people for free and get into the sport and train more intelligently, more efficiently, not just beat themselves into a pulp with hours and hours upon training, but do it really smart, that I really like. Next, race schedule. It was not as busy as I had hoped. I wanted to do a race in March, do maybe 2 races in July, and then peak for Half Ironman Worlds. Didn't do the March race. I was still banged up, still injured. I didn't do 2 more races. I did one little kind of tune-up Olympic, which PB'd, and then I did Coeur d'Alene, where I PB'd, and then I did Half Ironman Worlds, where I PB'd. So the performances I was really happy with from a triathlon standpoint, but it came with, I had to juggle things, I had to drop things. I had told you that I was going to be racing certain times, and I didn't because I had to change them. So I'll call that like a half win. And then this was the big goal. I think it was literally sitting right here in the same spot with these same Philips Hue fancy lights in behind me, where I said at the end of 2018, I wanted Triathlon Taren to be all that we did. And so it's important that I get Triathlon Taren to a point that it's stable enough that it's all that we do so we can keep doing it. And that was important to me, to be able to step away from doing social media consulting work for clients and just be able to do this, because that would have meant that this has longevity and that I can do something meaningful that helps people in the world for the rest of my life, and it's not reliant on basically having money funding it from elsewhere, that this was a business in itself, because that means that it can be around and it can help people get into the sport and train intelligently and all that good stuff for years and years to come. Is it the only thing that we do? Yes. Is it because it's a self-sustaining business? No. We had wound down all of the social media consulting work we were doing, expecting the Triathlon Trainiac platform to be very busy and taking over what we do. It's not launched yet because of the difficulties and the left turns that we took in the year. And we're on a little bit of precarious footing. But I really think that we can get to the point very soon in 2019 that between the Team Trainiac and between the Pro Masterclasses with Lucy Charles, with Cam Worth, with other potentially yet to be announced athletes, go to triathlontaren.com/early masterclass if you want to see everyone that's officially announced. Between those couple of things, I think we got ourselves a business. I'm pretty sure that within the first half of 2019, this is going to be it. We can do this. with your help, Trainiacs. And I have you to thank for that. And that is the biggest thing that I look at as a massive success from 2018. We have so many new friends, whereas in 2017, we had people that we were starting to know, but now we've got all kinds of legitimate new people that I can consider friends. Ventum. They came over and had a bunch of wine on our lanai after Kona. Pros, whether it's Sarah True coming up and just hanging out and killing some time before her press conferences, or going for the warm-up rides with Danielle Dingman at Coeur d'Alene, they're legitimately pros that when in Newsday I'm like, hey, you know my pal Matt Russell? Legitimately a pal. And then down to people that watch the videos, Cindy and Phil, who hosted us in Coeur d'Alene, like actually friends that we were talking about going and racing a destination race together. Like that is what the best part of triathlon is. It's the friends that you meet, the people that you train with, the people that you race with in destination races with, the people that you travel with. It's not the times, it's not the being a super A-type awesome triathlete. It's about being a better person with the people around you, your friends, your family, your connections, your training partners. And we have met some awesome people, had the support of some fantastic companies, and I can't thank everyone enough. I'm really excited for where 2019 is headed. 2018, well, we've had some bumps. I gotta say it's a success. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really tough, but I owe you all a big thank you for being along for the ride, and especially when times have got tough, being there and being supportive. You're extremely motivating to me. You give me the motivation to get out here and train every single morning. You give me the motivation to get out here and learn about how to be a better leader and be a better teacher and learn more things about triathlon so that I can share it with you. And I owe that all to you. And a little bit to NTK and a lot to Mel. So thank everyone that's been involved. This is not just the Triathlon Taren YouTube channel. This is Triathlon Taren with NTK, with Mel, with some awesome Trainiacs, with some awesome companies. So thanks everyone. Make sure you're subscribed for 2019 later Trainiacs.